bringing 2 cups of water to a boil will ensure that our slab of ramen noodles, inspired by the Japanese, will come to a perfect cooking temperature, and we can eat it hot and ready. We'll have to monitor it through this review. I don't know why I'm doing this. I thoroughly enjoyed the menu. This is not going to be a movie a lot of people like, and I do understand that 100%. Coming out of the movie, a guy I've never talked to or seen before turned to me and said, "That was frickin' weird," and then walked away, not to say another thing.
Welcome to Hawthorne. I'm Julian Slowick, and tonight it'll be our pleasure to feed you.
The curtain rises.
And that's essentially the movie, just these characters coming to this place and having a dining experience. But the catch is the chef, Ray Fiennes, has fallen out of love with cooking. And so he thinks that he needs to make some huge artistic statement to kind of reinvigorate himself or his image. So people die. The entire film is about the rich and the poor and the dynamic between the two. The kitchen staff represents the 99% of society, the poor people that had to come out of the mud to be something, and then, of course, the rich people that the poor people are serving don't really care about them at all. And a microcosm of that is our main 2 characters, which is Anya Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult has brought in Anya Taylor-Joy to this island, and you find out very early on that she wasn't his first choice. In fact, he swapped her out pretty late, to the point where the staff didn't even know she was going to be there. They thought she was going to be somebody else.
Who are you?
I am Margot. Why do you care?
I have to know if you're with us or with them.
And the microcosm between the staff and the diners in these 2 is that he is very wealthy and he's paid for her trip, and constantly he's undermining her, he's cutting her off, he's not letting her talk, he's not listening to her. And you learn throughout the entire experience that she is one of the staff, meaning she is a poor, down on her luck type of person who's kind of not lucked her way, but grinded her way into a position where she can take control of things. They can't come alone, he says, so he needed to get somebody, and she was there. You learn, at least, possibly, that she's an escort, and she knows somebody there from escorting. Speaking of, I think our dish is boiling. The menu that Ray Fiennes has put together is all about. He wants to level the playing field, quite literally by the end. He is trying to level the playing field between the 2, and he has stopped caring about class, he's stopped caring about money, he stopped caring about his pride, and he is putting it all aside in this for the sake of this menu, which also kind of represents the script of the movie. It's kind of fourth wall breaking in that way. They talk about how the menu is meticulously crafted, meticulously and perfectly put together, and it's all for these rich people's experience, their dining experience. And that's all the script is. The script is, oh my goodness, the script is just that for the audience, really. So our menu essentially is this script, the script that we're given about the haves, the have-nots, these characters, and what they go through on this night of horror, essentially.
To our male diners, we now offer you the chance to escape. You'll be given a 45-second head start.
Oh, that's so hot. Why did I do that? Anyway, it's also about the death of art and the death of love, really, the death of the love of art and the love for art. The main thrust of the movie, the subtext here is all about art. The Ray Fiennes character believes that he is making art with his food. And that's sort of an allegory for filmmaking in general right now, the death of art. Most of the big things right now, the things that are making the most money, are not art. And that's what the menu, that's what this restaurant, that's what the chef is all about. The chef, the director, has to curate this menu, the script, for the audience, these rich people. And when you don't make art, when you just make a product, that gets lost. The director, the staff, the crew, the restaurant, the movie, the script, everything gets lost when it's not art. It's just a product that people consume and leave.
Tony Stark builds an Iron Man suit, and then Jeff Bridges builds a bigger Iron Man suit, and then they fight.
Wolverine's arms, swords, and then they all fight in the end.
Correct. I would have accepted Gambit, isn't it? The Hulk.
Ang Lee Hulk?
Yes, that's the Hulk. The other one is the Incredible Hulk. I just said Hulk.
Oh my God, what happened in that one? He becomes the Hulk, and then Nick Nolte becomes another Hulk, and then they fight.
And there's a great moment in this when Ralph Fiennes is interrogating one of his customers, his audience members, and asking, what is something you ate the last time you came? You've come here 11 times. What's one dish you've had? And he can't remember a single one. And it's more than likely because Ralph Fiennes has fallen out of love with his art, and so he's serving products to people. And there's a lot of little microcosms of that in this as well. I mean, you have this corporate guy who owns the restaurant, and at one point, Ralph Fiennes lowers him into the ocean and drowns him and kills him because this guy has been stifling Ralph Fiennes' art. This corporate guy wanted to change the menu. He wanted to substitute things on the menu to make it more palatable to an audience, which is essentially producers of Marvel movies, DC movies, these massive blockbusters who are curating their movies to be the most family-friendly and the widest audience available type of things. That is the representation of that. The corporate guy who owns the restaurant who wants to change the artist's vision.
Do not eat. Taste. Savor. Relish. Consider every morsel that you place inside your mouth.
And then there's the Nicholas Hoult character, who Anya Taylor-Joy accompanies to this exhibition, who is convinced he is an artist because he knows what an artist does. He is talking about to chefs about, oh, I know that appliance. Oh, the mouthfeel of this is good. He can go through the motions of what makes the art that this artist is creating, but he's not an artist. And Ralph Fiennes proves that by pulling him out and saying, cook something, and he absolutely can't. He can't even cook a piece of lamb. It's terrible, and he goes and hangs himself, which is morbid. And then there's an even more obvious one, which is
John Leguizamo,
character who's an actor, and Ralph Fiennes and him get into it a little bit because Ralph Fiennes says he saw one of his movies, and he's haunted by it because this actor's fallen out of love for his craft, which is an actor in a movie playing an actor of movies who has fallen out of love with their craft. It's another pretty on-the-nose death of cinema type of thing here.
How do we stop this? Is this real? Please just make it stop.
It's all part of the menu.
There's also this underlying current of honesty and sneakiness between these characters. All these rich people are incredibly sneaky and conniving, which kind of comes to light with their tortilla debacle. Every single one of them is sneaky in some way and trying to get a one-up on life, on the other people that they've put under them. And that's another part of this haves and have-nots. But we should talk about the characters as a whole. I think the characters here are exactly what they should be. Now, they're nothing special. None of these characters are really fleshed out or developed in interesting or unique or deep ways. The only character that has a compelling story to her is Anya Taylor-Joy, who is hiding, essentially, through the entire movie, and she slowly kind of reveals who she is, what she is, why she's there. And that's the only real interesting character. All the other ones are really just there to play a part in the menu or the script. They're just there to point out the themes of the movie. But really, I think that's kind of all there is to talk about with the menu. There's a lot here. There's a lot to digest. Wow! But at the same time, it's very straightforward. It kind of presents itself in a non-flashy, unpretentious way while dealing with a pretty pretentious subject matter, and that makes it work. Because whenever you talk about art or artists, it tends to come off a little pretentious.
Left hand. Ring finger.
Let me out. Let me out. No. Come on. Leave the guy alone. What are you doing? Leave him. Come on. Come on. Easy. Leave the guy alone.
Mr. Libra, please hold still.
It's not going to be a mass entertaining movie. It's not like Jump Scare City. It's not Violent City. It is just, I have a couple ideas for themes, and I'm going to present that through this artist. I'm going to my art is coming through this art, and that's what I want to talk about. It's about the death of love, it's about the death of art, and it's about the haves and the have-nots. It's about a lot. So I give it a ton of credit. I think this is a really good movie. And if you are interested in filmmaking at all, I would definitely recommend seeing this. The script is really tight here. It's perfectly structured from Act 1 to Act 3, really well done. Really well paced as well. Every scene has this kinetic energy that keeps growing and growing and growing, and then it lets you kind of palate cleanse. And then it grows and grows and grows again, and then palate cleanse. It does a really good job of stringing you along without making it feel overwhelming and giving you time to breathe with these characters and what this is all about. But to be fair, a lot of people, I think, aren't going to enjoy this because they're not going for that experience. Most people aren't going to this movie, The Menu, to have an experience about the death of cinema or the death of art. But if you want to see a movie that has some interesting craft to it, that has some interesting ideas, and has some things to say that are compelling, and it's all wrapped up in a pretty entertaining and well-paced bow with really strong performances, I would go see The Menu. Oh, we should take a bite. Soggy. God damn.